What's good, y'all? It's the main man, your boy, Cormac's Epic Videos. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's your boy, Cormac Fan 832. And we're back with another video. Not only just some, random video, but the next installation of the Jaccey Lake lore. Yeah, guys, this is insane. We got so much more information now. We got so many lore drops because Cormac has just been pumping out content and I'm there gobbling it all up, right? I'm ready for this, all right? I'm pumped up, okay? I don't even really want to do this intro. I just want to get right into the video. But let me introduce what we got today, because, boy, I released this little video, about 8 days ago, where it was just in celebration of my first video, which I posted 2 years ago. It's really interesting to see how the channel has grown since then, and I'm grateful for every one of you. But I haven't really been making content, and here's my official return to form, right? I've been kind of busy this past month, but I'm back and we're ready to get into it, right? So let me tell you, I had not been watching many videos because I was still busy trying to move into my actual house, I posted a video on that. I moved to, Kentucky, so now I'm just chilling there. But anyways, boy, I cannot tell you how excited I was when I opened my phone and I saw the beautiful notification that Cormac had posted 3 new videos. And when I tell you this is a crazy lineup, I mean this is a crazy lineup. This is like an all-star lineup, man. Just on the titles alone, you can tell that we're getting so much more lore. It's actually insane. Big shout out to Cormac for continuously pumping out content. I think he's probably one of the greatest to ever do it in this modern day and age. He might be up there in the YouTube Hall of Fame. But right now, let me just introduce these videos. Thelma Lou Digging to China and Bad Update are kind of one and the same. They're basically just continuations of each other, but I'll get into that later. And then Random Jaccey Lake video is 17 minutes. So this one might be a longer video, but trust me guys, it is worth it because there's absolutely so much lore. Alright, first video we got is of course Thelma Lou Digging to China. Now, the audio, admittedly, in this video is pretty choppy. Cormac had explained that it was raining heavily, and that affected the audio. So there's not much audio in this. Also, it's like a 41-second video. So in this video, basically all we see is Cormac runs up to Thelma Lou, and Thelma Lou's just digging a hole. Dogs dig holes all the time. It's pretty innocent, right? But you'd be mistaken, because Thelma Lou isn't your average dog, and for fans of the channel, they know that Thelma Lou, not only does she run this big criminal dog empire, which basically has a hold on every dog in Jaccey Lake. She kind of controls all of them, and they're all part of her Thelma Lou mafia, but she also has these kind of powers of persuasion. Whether they are actual supernatural abilities is up for debate, or if they're just like her being a dog and her just generally being a very cute dog and being able to get what she wants. But she has this kind of thing where she can just make anybody do anything for her. If you want more information, I've posted 4 videos about Thelma Lou and her mafia. I'm basically milking it dry for all the marketing and monetization I can get. So go check those out, and while you're at it, please subscribe because it really helps the channel. And before we move on to the next segment, I want to say the sponsor of this video is actually nobody, because I'm broke as heck and I have to ride a bike to the Starbucks only for the barista to get my name and order wrong. Alright, let's get back to the video. So the next video we have is Bad Update. Now, admittedly, the audio in this one is pretty choppy, so I can't really tell you what Cormac said in this video. But from what I gathered, the hole that Thelma Lou dug has gone even wider. Now, you might think, well, why is this a bad issue? Because if you look closer at the image, I'm pretty sure she busted one of the gas lines or one of the electricity lines. And I think it's a gas line because from what I heard, Cormac was saying something about gas. Now, most of you think that this would probably be unintentional, right? Like it was an accident. And, dogs, they're not really that smart, so, they can't really control where they dig. But I'm just gonna say right now, you don't know this dog, right? This dog is not like your average dog. She's not stupid or anything. She knows what she's doing because she's actually working for the Jaccey Lake Collector. And now that Cormac is starting to, join the rebellion and stuff like that, she's doing anything she can to keep him at Jaccey Lake, right? To trap him so that he can also be controlled by the Jaccey Lake Collector. And, this is a plot of hers because the thing is that the Jaccey Lake Collector, he needs the kids in Jaccey Lake to, fuel his powers, right? And Cormac is trying to free Jaccey Lake. He's trying to use all of these tactics to fight the Jaccey Lake Collector. But Thelma Lou, because she has so much to gain from Jaccey Lake, because she controls every dog there, and that's because the Jaccey Lake Collector is helping, it's just helping her in general, right? He's kind of like her boss, so she works under him, and she has to keep the kids in, which is why she broke the fuel line. But then, if you look at one of the kids with Cormac, you'll notice that there's something very weird about the color of her, clothing. It's all blue. I need to get a job, bro. Not only that, but Cormac is also wearing blue. But, you can see this kind of red sweater wrapped around his waist, and the red is the color of Cormac's rebellion, but the blue is the color of the Blue Lobster, who is like this spy for the Jaccey Lake Collector. And he is called the Blue Lobster because he wears a lot of blue, and also because, he just hangs around Cormac, and then he tries to get him to, turn to the Jaccey Lake Collector's side. So, from my expert, unemployed analysis, you can tell that Cormac is now sort of slowly being turned to the Jaccey Lake Collector's side. Because while he is still wearing red, which is the color of the rebellion, he is wearing more blue now, which could mean that he's becoming he's turning into another Blue Lobster, right? The Blue Lobster has more influence over him, and he's turning into one of the Jaccey Lake Collector's sort of minions, you could say. Now, I know Cormac is basically the leader of the rebellion. So we just have to see where this goes, because if he gets turned, then it's pretty much over for the entire rebellion. And then next we have random Jaccey Lake video, and let me tell you, this first still of the video, I don't even know, probably 30 seconds in, when I saw this blue hoodie and this guy, my heart instantly sunk. It was I imagine this is how college basketball players feel when they get drafted into the Utah Jazz. I was oh no, I already know what I'm getting into, because Blue Lobster, yeah, that's him. He's standing right there. So this is already bad enough, right? Because now you got Blue Lobster in video, so that means Cormac's Epic Videos is being kind of turned to the Blue Lobster side, because otherwise wouldn't him and Blue Lobster not be hanging out, because they're on different sides of the war, right? The Jaccey Lake War. But then as they start walking around and stuff, you can see that there's nobody at the lake, and the lake is a recreational thing. So wouldn't there be more people here? But they're walking around and they're exploring. And the Blue Lobster is kind of leading him, somewhere. And you can see even from this still that I managed to capture, there's nobody around them. And then Blue Lobster leads him over to this tipped over basketball net. And it's all destroyed and stuff, and it looks pretty old. And then this is weird enough already, but then they start playing basketball, and then they don't even bother to put the net up or anything, or position it to where they can actually shoot and stuff like that, which is pretty strange. But then you see this adult walking by, and when Cormac turns the camera to the faceless adult, which for those of you who don't know, faceless adults are illusions made by the Jaccey Lake Collector to keep the kids there, but you can never see their face. But he seems to be dragging along a wagon full of heavy stuff, right? And then when Cormac's Epic Videos turns the camera towards him, Blue Lobster kind of gets pretty antsy, right? And he immediately rushes over and he grabs the camera, which is a little bit suspicious. What I think is happening here is that, the Blue Lobster is trying to draw his attention away from the faceless adults, and he's trying to keep him under the Jaccey Lake Collector's spell. And then when the camera, is taken by the Blue Lobster and turned to CORMACSEPICVIDEOS, and I saw the color of his shirt, oh man, this entire video is like heartbreak for the unemployed fans of CORMACSEPICVIDEOS. This might be worse than being like a Detroit Lions fan. This is genuinely terrible. He was wearing a blue shirt, which fully signifies that I think he has been turned into like Blue Lobster Jr. kind of, or the second Blue Lobster, which means he could now very well be working for the Jaccey Lake Collector. But it's too soon to put a label on anything, right? But I think he might be slowly turning without knowing it. And then one of the faceless adults walks past CORMACSEPICVIDEOS. You can see when he turns, the faceless adult turns back to look at him. And this is what the other faceless adult did, right? And he's also carrying a huge wagon. So I think that they know that CORMACSEPICVIDEOS is in fact leading the rebellion, and they're keeping a very close eye on him, trying to make sure he's still under the Jaccey Lake Collector's spell, and all of that jazz. And then one of the adults walks over to where, Cormac and Blue Lobster are, playing basketball, if you can really call it that. And then he points a finger at CORMACSEPICVIDEOS, and you can actually see his face, although it is blurry, which tells me that because, Cormac is one more kid added to the amount of kids who are sort of turning to the Jaccey Lake Collector's side, the Jaccey Lake Collector is getting more of that supernatural power, and now he can really form out the faces of the formerly faceless adults to make them look more real. And again, pointing to Cormac is like acknowledging him, so yeah, I think they're really trying to keep an eye on CORMACSEPICVIDEOS now. So then CORMACSEPICVIDEOS walks off with Blue Lobster into the woods for a while, and then Blue Lobster and CORMACSEPICVIDEOS, when Cormac tries to get his camera back, Blue Lobster kind of like wrestles with him, and he's not really giving it back, which could mean that Blue Lobster is trying to control CORMACSEPICVIDEOS' channel again. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This is basically kind of like a one of two parts, but the other video that I'm making won't really be a Jaccey Lake lore video, because the difference between Jaccey Lake lore video and the video that I'm going to make is that Jaccey Lake lore video is based off of Cormac's long form content, like full videos that are 17 minutes or more, stuff like that, while this new video, which is going to be like Jaccey Lake shorts lore part 3 or 4, I don't remember how far into the series we are, will be based around the shorts that CORMACSEPICVIDEO posts, and that contain lore, just so I don't have like 1,000 Jaccey Lake lore videos and I can sort of differentiate them. Also, I will be making more playlists so that people can find my videos easier. So if you like the content and you want to see more of it and you want to know what the heck I'm even talking about, then I will be making playlists so you can like look at past videos. Whenever I post a new video, so you just know like what I'm talking about and you're not going in blind. Well, thank you guys, stay cool, and I'll see you next time. I'll be posting more videos.